Hello, dear students. Welcome to the today's geography session. We have already started with the lesson number 5 winds, and that we have reached up till the topic of cyclones on page number 27. Yes, last time in the last session we have done with the topic cyclones. Yes, now let us move further to the topic cyclonic storms on page number 27. Cyclones occurring in the western part of the Pacific Ocean along the coasts of Japan, China, Philippines, etc., are known as typhoons. So, cyclones which are occurring in the western parts of the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean, it's a name of the ocean. So, along that in the western part of these ocean, whichever cyclones are occurring, they are where they are occurring at the along the coast of Japan, China, Philippines, etc. These cyclones are named as typhoons. Okay, these storms arise in the months between June and October. So where is the period, or what is the time duration when these cyclones arise? Yes, they arise between June and October. Due to high velocity winds and heavy rains, these prove to be destructive. So, what is the nature of these cyclone? These typhoons, they are having high velocity of winds. They blow with high velocity and also heavy rains. So that's why these cyclones prove to be destructive. Wherever these cyclones are arising, they are causing destruction. The cyclones in the Caribbean Sea are known as hurricanes. Okay, so now these are the other name given to the cyclone. So the names are given to the cyclones according to the where they arise, along which around which ocean they arise. So here in the Caribbean Sea, the cyclones which are there, they are known as hurricanes. These are also destructive in nature. During these storms, the minimum velocity of the wind is 60 kilometer per hour. So yes, what is the velocity of minimum velocity of these winds? The velocity of these winds are 60 kilometer per hour, and also they are destructive in nature. Cyclones also originate in the temperate zone, but they are not so powerful and hence are not destructive. These cyclones, these hurricane cyclones, they arise in temperate zone and they are not so powerful, and that's why they are not causing much destruction. They are not destroying too much as compared to the typhoons. So that was about the cyclonic storms. Let us see now anticyclones. Before starting with the anticyclones, let us have a recall of the topic cyclones, because we have to compare cyclones and anticyclones. So let us have a recall what we studied about cyclone. Yes, cyclone, where do cyclonic conditions take place? It is the a lower area, a low pressure area, when it is surrounded by high pressure areas. Yes, you can have a look to the figure 5.7 also. See, in the between, it is a low pressure area when it is surrounded by high pressure areas. Yes, in such a situation, the winds blow from high pressure area to low pressure area. Yes, causing what? Cyclonic conditions. Cyclones arise there. And then it is different in the northern hemisphere and different in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, this wind moves in anti-clockwise direction, while in the southern hemisphere it moves in a clockwise direction. Okay, then how are the conditions during this cyclone? During this cyclone, the sky is cloudy and the winds blow with a very high velocity, and also it rains heavily. So these are the conditions when the cyclones arise. Okay, so what is there? Remember, sky is very cloudy, winds blow with high velocity, and it rains heavily. Okay, and how are the areas affected? Very limited. The areas affected by these cyclone are very limited, and also it is unpredictable. means we can't say, it is not predicted or we can't say beforehand that okay, this cyclone is going to come from, is or going to originate from this area, or this cyclone will last for such a period of time, or this cyclone will have the velocity of, or the speed of this cyclone will be such and such. So all these things, the duration, velocities, direction and place of origin of these winds is unpredictable, can't be predicted before, it is just happening according to whatever are the conditions. Okay, so these were all about the cyclones. Now let us see the topic anticyclones. Yes, as the name anti means what? Opposite. Yes, so anticyclones will be what? All the characteristics of anticyclones will be opposite to cyclones. So let us learn now in that topic. Page number 27, last para. Anticyclones. Under specific atmospheric conditions, the air pressure in a particular region increases and the pressure in the surrounding areas remain low. See, now it is just the opposite of cyclones. Yes, in the anticyclones, due to atmospheric conditions, what happen? The air pressure in a particular region, okay, in a particular region the air pressure increases due to the atmospheric conditions. And what happens? The surrounding area, yes, whatever that particular area is there, whose pressure has increased, air pressure has increased, so the area surrounded by such area, there the pressure becomes what? It becomes low. The surrounding area, the pressure remains slow. So then what will happen in this situation? Winds blow from the center towards the surrounding areas in a circular manner. So in anticyclones, well, where will be the direction of the winds blowing? The winds will be blowing from the center, that is the high pressure area, to the surrounding low pressure area. Yes, so that is the first difference. In the cyclones, where are the winds blowing? From the surrounded high pressure area to the center low pressure area, while in the anticyclones it is moving from where? Come on, tell. From the centered high pressure area to the to the surrounded low pressure area. Got it? So that was the first point. Then let us see how is the direction of the winds. In the northern hemisphere, these winds blow in a clockwise direction, whereas in the southern hemisphere they blow in an anti-clockwise direction. So just opposite to our cyclones. Okay. Then during anticyclones, the skies are clear. Winds blow with lesser velocities and the weather is pleasant. Yes, so during anticyclones, how is the sky? Clear, while in cyclones the sky is cloudy. Here the winds blow with lesser velocities. In cyclones the winds blow with high velocity, and there in the cyclones the sky is cloudy and it rains heavily, while here the skies are clear and so the weather is pleasant. Move to page number 28. Anticyclones last for a few days or a week. So what is the duration? In the cyclones the duration is unpredictable. Here in anticyclones generally they last for a few days or maximum a week. Such anticyclones originate in temperate zones. Yes, we also know the original place of where do these winds originate? In temperate zone. While in cyclones there is no origin predictable. Okay, it is unpredictable. On weather maps, the center of an anticyclone is represented by the letter H. That is, anticyclones on the weather map are represented by letter H, while the cyclones on the map are represented by the letter L. Yes, do you remember? Yes. Then anticyclones are vividly experienced in high pressure belts. Where do we experience this anticyclones? In high pressure belts. Winds in these regions are always moving out and hence the rainfall in such areas is quite low. So the winds, how these winds are moving? They are moving out of the region where they are affected, and hence the rainfall in these such areas is quite low. Okay, so that was all about the anticyclones. Let us see now. Do you know naming the cyclones? How the cyclones are named? Cyclones occurring in different parts of the world are assigned different names. Yes, wherever these cyclones are occurring in the different parts of the world are assigned different names. A list of names is prepared for each of the oceans or its parts. So they prepare a generally list of the names to be given to the cyclones according to the oceans where they are occurring. Names in the list are suggested by the countries in the region of that ocean. I told you the names are given by the countries, but how? According to the where they are occurring, towards in which ocean they are occurring. So they give that name according to the region of that ocean. If the wind speed in the storm exceeds 33 knots or 60 km per hour, the cyclone is assigned a name. So only and only if the minimum speed of the storm is exceeding 60 kilometer per hour or 33 knots, then only that cyclone is assigned a name. So there should be minimum speed of the storm of the cyclone should be 60 kilometer per hour. Names make it easier for us to remember a particular storm. Yes, if the if the cyclones are given the name, then it become very easier to understand and study about that particular cyclone, that particular storm. So with this we have finished today our lesson number 5, winds. So hope you all have understood this lesson. Still, if you have any difficulty, feel free to ask me, and take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.